RK's alcohol-free Scottish whiskey flavored drink. This is their non-alcoholic scotch. This is an alcohol-free spirit. This one comes to us from RK. I previously reviewed their American whiskey, their alcohol-free American whiskey, and today I'm going to review their scotch, non-alcoholic scotch. These are really important, these alcohol-free spirits. Important for designated drivers, for people who don't drink anymore, for people who are trying to live a healthier lifestyle, people who give up alcohol for Lent, any number of reasons. So let's review some. I have already poured myself a generous portion. I am going to go through my standard tasting steps, except I'm going to skip the step where I add a little bit of water to break through the surface tensions of the glycols, because this doesn't have them. And I learned from my previous review that it's a pointless step. So we won't do that. But I'm also going to do something fun. I'm going to taste it in my fancy little tasting glass, which I love. And then I'm going to try it in the neat glass. I'll be doing a full-on review of the neat glass, the neat whiskey tasting glass. That's what it's called, the neat glass, very soon. So please keep watching. Here we go. This one, we'll start off. Well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead and pour some. It's alcohol-free. I can have as much as I want. Remember that RK has a molecule they add, and I know it's capsaicin. They don't mention that, but it's very obvious that it's capsaicin. That's the hot pepper molecule. It's the one that makes you think you've had hot pepper. But what it does in these products is it gives you the mouth sensation that you've actually had an alcoholic drink. And it works especially well when you're using this alcohol-free spirit. This one in particular, I'll be reviewing other brands along the way too. But especially with RK, when you use it in a mocktail, that's a non-alcoholic cocktail, that's when you really get the benefit of tricking yourself into thinking that you've had an actual cocktail, because you get that little bit of burn, but it's surrounded by all kinds of other flavors within the rest of that mocktail's ingredients. Here we go. Let's taste. First, we're going to, it's very, very pretty. Hello, fakey whiskey. You're very pretty today. I'm going to nose it. Oh, the aroma on this one. Difference. There's a lot of cinnamon coming off of this. Now that is very interesting to me. That's actually not what I expected. I didn't remember it from my preview. Wow, very lovely. A nice aroma. Not what I expected. I'm going to go ahead and taste it. And I'll hold it in my mouth 4 or 5 seconds before I swallow it, because I do think that even with these non-alcoholic spirits, I think it's an important thing, because if they are adding something to it to trick your mouth into thinking, trick your brain into thinking you've had some alcohol, then I think you should give it the benefit of that holding it in the mouth for a little bit. And let me tell you again, if that's one thing I can teach you about tasting whiskey, hold it in your mouth 4 or 5 seconds. Trust me, it'll change your whiskey world. Here we go. I would say a nice toast. I would give a toast, but I forgot again to get one. So here's to you and here's to me. To squirrels up in the tree. I love squirrels. Cheers. Now again, I will say, the texture on this, the mouthfeel is very, very watery, of course. Well, I don't know, of course, but it's very, very watery, which isn't a problem if you use it as part of a mocktail. I remember that from the previous one I reviewed, but the flavor is really nice. And funny enough, this one is sweeter than the previous one. This one almost reminds me of what I would expect an alcohol-free bourbon to taste like. There's an amazing amount of sweetness there. Let me try it again. And then I'm going to try it in my fancy neat glass. Excuse me. Capsaicin. I know I swallowed it kind of fast. Ooh, it wasn't as good because I swallowed it too fast. See there? I did that just to make my point. Very sweet in the finish. Oh, excuse me, which I kind of like. There's a whole lot of that capsaicin thing, that whole hot pepper burn, which I do like too. It's very, very nice. And I think this one would probably, because of the sweetness, I think it would probably lend itself to a mocktail even better than the other one. I'm going to try it now from the neat glass and see if, given this large opening that follows the narrow neck, if it changes any of my perception. So here we go. I love squirrels. Here's to squirrels. Squirrels all over the world. Love them. They're squirrely. Mmm. Mmm. I like this. I really do. It's got a lovely sweetness and very much a whiskey-esque-ness to it. I prefer this one over the first one I tried. I prefer this over the American whiskey. And the reason I made a sound when I tasted from this one is because this is such a great glass. This one, the narrowing of the neck, when you go in for a taste, you are inundated with the aromas at the same time that you're sipping. I'm going to do that again because that was fun. Mm. I would drink all kinds of things from this. I would drink grape juice. I might even drink like sodas from, I don't drink sodas, but if I did, what else would I drink from this? This is amazing. All kinds of juices. I think I would try all kinds of different juices in here. This is an amazing glass. And this wasn't supposed to be a video about the glass. It's about our RK, but this is a great glass. If you are looking for non-alcoholic spirits to beef up your bar at home or in your restaurant or bar or whatever, I recommend having this. You are going to have people come over who are the designated drivers. You are going to have people who don't drink anymore. You are going to have people who are trying not to drink because they're trying to be healthier. People who have given up drinking for Lent. I know I listed those things before, but this happens a lot. There is a huge portion of our population that is drinking less or not drinking at all. And we need to address that. And in our world of drinking and spirits and distilled products, I think because there is a big mocktail world out there, I think it's really important to address it. And especially if you have a fancy glass. So there you go. You can go to their website. I will put it up on the screen and check out what else they have. They have not just whiskey, they've got all kinds of things. They have a whole line of it. It's a wonderful product. If you can't find it in your local Happy Juice store, I know you can order it online. And let's talk about this real soon. Thank you for joining me. Make sure you keep watching because you're finding about all kinds of things. Now you know.